if Jesus foretold the destruction of the temple, according to Matthew 24 of the King James Version, 1 through 4, that says, "And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down." And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Now, what is he saying about today? If I am telling you the truth, my truth, that's the only truth that I actually know. Now, I can read this to you and tell you what truth. I just told you what Matthew said. Now, how can I or you corroborate what Matthew said? But now, you telling me that if Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and then he said that there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down, is he not saying those who in that building has corrupted that religion? So now, if the truth has no place in religion, then wouldn't Jesus now say religion is a stone that was cast down in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12th in 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as inside of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning? Well, if you judge Jesus, because you blame Jesus, because you say that Jesus is in control, so now you're saying that Jesus allowed this, because that's what people been telling me. Oh, you just don't understand. Jesus is working. Jesus is in control. This, right? But how about if the devil is out of control, right? Now let's look up the devil, the definition of the devil. Now, if the devil is out of control and you saying it's Jesus, wouldn't you also be out of control? Okay, the devil, the personal supreme spirit of evil, often represented in Christian belief as the tempter of humankind, the leader of all apostate angels, and ruler of hell, usually used with, that's it. Yeah. And the ruler of hell. So how about if this is hell? Because it's a mindset. See, if you are blaming Jesus, for whom said, according to Matthew, which is his disciple, that Matthew 24 verse 5 says, For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. In the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning, as well as inside of the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida on February 20th in 2018 at 9:20 in the morning. But because I went to the spiritual world and the spiritual world turned its back on me, just like the spiritual world sent Jesus to the cross because it was afraid of Rome coming to take its place in nation, according to John 11. See, so if I'm going and getting the Bible, right? And this is John 11. So this is a disciple of Jesus, right? And this is John 11, verse 45 through 57, that says, Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Jesus did believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Jesus had done. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, What do we do? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. No mention of God. See, Rome, that's Caesar, right? So now, how can you now say that God ordained the murder of Jesus when you just seen that the chief priests and the Pharisees had a council? Now let's look up council. Now let's look up so we'll know what they did. See, council, an assembly or meeting for consultation, advice, or discussion. So now, where was Jesus in that council, in that consultation? Now, consultation is a conference, specifically a deliberation between physicians on a case or its treatment. So now, was not the high priest Caiaphas, them now like physicians talking about the sickness that Jesus was causing them, their body, their members? Look now, they say, see, this is what I'm saying. It's right here for you, right? It say, but some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Jesus had done. Then, see, so the Pharisees told the chief priests, and then they gathered, and the chief priests and the Pharisees, a council, and said, what do we do? See, that's them asking themselves, where's God? So now, I'm just asking, if I went to these church leaders and I asked for help, not for help for me, because I didn't need help. You see what I'm saying? What I was doing was giving them the evidence of the help that homeowners needed, because I was the homeowner that they were still in my house. So I saw them, they gave me that bad mortgage, right? And I'm saying, well, okay, I got to get this mortgage because I'm thinking you going to do right. They made me pay $5,026 for a year. And then they just threw the case out, and I had a lawyer. This is what I'm saying. I was paying $5,026 a month, and my wife and I paid it for a year. That's illegal. I'm giving them time to fix the crime, and man, my wife and I could have moved on. But now, I go to Pastor Willie C. Barnes. Now I'm caught up in the spiritual world. See what I'm saying? So was that my mistake? The same thing Jesus did when he went into the temple? So now by me being surrounded by a devil and going into the place that put my wife and our world in supposed to be in good standing with her God, because my wife believe in God. See, so I stood before my wife's God. I received her from her creator, which is her father, in the name of my God. And then in the name of my God, I went back into that church where my wife's creator, which is her father, gave her to me in the presence of her God by the preacher. So the preacher says that he is the truth, the light, and the way, because he gave my wife the scripture. My wife was going to that church ever since we got married in there. My daughter, son, the only religious leader they knew was that dude, Pastor Willie C. Barnes. I went in there as the last piece to my family, and the man threw me out. Now, Now y'all saying that I'm not supposed to be saved by the word or by the blood of the Lamb and the word of my testimony. Now I'm saying, how if now if the plot to kill Jesus is not that similar? So when did the state of Florida then go to Pastor Willie C. Bonds, and now Pastor Willie C. Bonds is not stopping the spiritual world from knowing that the devil done been defeated? So now he plotted against me? See, why would he then marry my wife and I at 19 and then not defend the marriage that he brought together two teenagers? See, but at the time, he wasn't such a big preacher. See, that's what I'm saying. So did he marry us? Because that's when his church took off, because my grandmama is in the church. Like, she big time in that. Uh-oh, shot.